Howdy doody, everyone. So, around September, I hosted Sonic Month, a month dedicated to everyone's favorite blue porcupine, or is it a muskrat? Anyway, one of the things I did was a Sonic CD Let's Play of Sonic CD. So I thought to myself, why not rank the zones? Plus, you guys seem to like it when I talk about that blue muskrat, so let's do it. I am not taking act failure of each stage or the bosses into account, as those are worth its own video. Without further ado, showtime! Starting off, we have Palm Tree Panic. This is honestly a decent starting zone. It tells you that this game is about exploring while also being fast. I wish the pastimes gave you more room to run in, or springs like in Act 2. I love both the past and present tracks of the Japanese version. I also like the various nooks and crannies you can find here. There's just so much to explore, like this platform bit in Act 2 that leads to a 1-up. The roboticizing machines are fairly easy to find if you know what you're doing, which I like. You're not gonna have all the time stones yet, so why not experience a good feature now as a head start? And if you don't, it tells you need to restart the game, which isn't much of a setback considering you're literally at the beginning zone. The only flaw is those signs. You might not even go to the past in Act 1 because it's tough to get it started. I wish I had more to say, but I don't. Let's just move on. Right off the bat, I love how the zone starts. You walk forward, see Amy, see a bunch of spikes in your right, only for Middle Sonic to crash through those spikes and kidnap her. It really makes you feel helpless, trying to save this poor girl to no avail, and to see her get taken away. It reminds me of Portal 2 and how you can move freely until GLaDOS gets you in that one cutscene. You then give chase to Metal Sonic, and then you break lamps. At least I think they're lamps. It gives you adrenaline, which is something the stage fails them to do in my eyes. The whole fun of the stage revolves around springs, and it's used well in some places. I like when two springs together are near a pass sign. It makes it really easy to go to the past. Actually looking for the machines is the real chore. The stages are really linear, so it doesn't feel like you're exploring anything. It more feels like bouncing all over the place and then you're at the goal. The enemies are infuriating this level. They shoot at you and are usually play after you bounce. Not once on any of my playthroughs did I find any of the machines, which is one thing I liked about the previous zone. All in all, I don't like this stage. You don't really explore, which is the whole appeal of Sonic CD. Let's hope the next stage does a better job. The most atmospheric zone yet. In the background, you can see an underwater volcano go off. With the enemies being fishes, it makes you feel so alone yet adventurous. This is probably the last stage where you're without the time stones, so somehow the machines are really easy to find. This stage just feels so open. There's still plenty of secrets to find, and the water segments aren't rage-inducing like Labyrinth Zone. I like how they let you run and put strings with put strings with pass signs. The entrance to the second act is such springs, not strings. The second act is such an adrenaline rush. I haven't talked about the past yet, but I love how the water lowers in the past. It's a nice attention to detail. This is my favorite stage yet. It's like a best of both of the previous stages. It's more open to exploration and it's easier to time travel. This stage is the one I always forget existed, and I don't know why. I like the choice of enemies. They're bug themed, which is fitting for a cave level. The main gimmick is these escalators, which are different from the springs in that you can change their direction. It really is hard to get your momentum in the stage because of these escalators. Like, you're running on one of them, but you fall down a pit, which messes up your momentum. I've never went to the past once in all my playthroughs, and what's even worse is the machine placements. For some reason, the machines are so high up in the sky without any platforms to reach them, so you have to get enough momentum to jump high to even get a shot at reaching the machine, which I well stated how hard that is in this stage. Arguably, knowing where something is but being impossible to get is worse than not knowing where something is. I don't hate the escalators, I just think they could be better placed. The music is amazing in this one, in both past and present. It's so bouncy and fun, which is this level isn't. The main gimmick is that you bounce, like Collision Chaos, except here, it's worse because this is the entire level. You don't get room to breathe. Every other second you're either bouncing or spinning. That's the other gimmick, spinning. This comes in two forms. The good one is this vertical one that looks like an 8. It's a great way to gain momentum. Some pass signs are placed for them. So it's a great way to get to the pass. The other is this horizontal one that looks like the Elmo ride from Busch Gardens. This one just ruins your momentum and is a chore to deal with. Now, comment on the machines if I knew where they were. For whatever reason, just like in Collision Chaos, the machines are nowhere to be found. I guess taking a trip to Delfino Plaza for Mario Sunshine. I guess that's just the way I could describe this stage. Collision Chaos, but worse. I mean, that stage had a good opening and enemies that made sense. This stage just really uses the enemies from Tidal Tempest. Tidal Tempest, the water stage, and this is the electric stage. It makes no sense. Why would they do this? Why don't not just put the effort and to make some actual enemies and not reuse it from the water stage? You know what? I'm gonna say it. This is stupid. In fact, this is actually DDLC levels of stupid, which, Nary, I remind you, is my least favorite video game level of all time. Let's just pray the next level is better. This is the most popular stage in this game, and for good reason, too. The aesthetic is easily the best in the game. It gives off this overgrown Hollywood feel, and the enemies are something you would see in the wild, and not reused from Tidal Tempest, the water stage. Like, again, I cannot stress this enough. It is that frustrating. It stands out from your Green Hills Labyrinths and Scrap Brains in the best way possible. But just because it has the best aesthetic does not make it the best stage. So, it could be second best. So is it that? No. It is the best Sonic stage by far. There is plenty of ways to gain momentum near pass signs. The machines have a good middle with difficulty, and they can be a challenge to find while not being too frustrating, and it's just fun to explore. My only criticism is, for once, there's too much springs. They're placed in weird spots that really takes the stage rather than adds. I still really think this is the best stage of Sonic CD. But finally, we have the last stage, that being Metallic Madness. How well does it do being the end of the game? Just like with the previous stage, there's plenty of stages so you can, not stages, springs so you can gain momentum with pass signs. And I like how the enemies are bombs mostly. Those? Where my positives lie. For whatever reason, this stage just loves sending you back to the beginning of the level when you mess up. Sure, instead of death being a good punishment that wastes no time getting back, you have to spend 10 minutes to get back where you were, only to likely fall under the same trap. Real smart, guys. This isn't even difficult, just annoying, which there is a difference. Also, this is the most linear stage in the game. There is just one way to go this entire stage. One of the reasons I love Sonic as a franchise is the various ways to go by completing the stage. If I want that kind of linearity, I'll play 2D Mario, which even that doesn't feel too linear. If you ask which one I prefer between this and Wacky Workbench, I'd say Metallic Madness is better. At least this stage does the bare minimum of having original enemies that made sense to this theme. I guess I'm spoiling the ranking, so let's just get to that now in my closing thoughts. 7. Wacky Workbench. 6. Metallic Madness. 5. Quartz Quadrant. 4. Collision Chaos. 3. Palm Tree Panic. 2. Tidal Tempest. 1. Stardust Speedway. Man, I thought Sonic CD was a better game than this. I really like what it brought, the concept, and what it brought to the table. However, I won't deny the level design is not good. I mean, the top 3 stages, I think, were at least do the bare minimum of being a good stage. But hey, maybe Sega can do a remake or a sequel of the game. But maybe, future signs next time, and have the past be more accessible. Thanks for watching.